All right. Hello, Buhay. Welcome to Buhay Meets again. As we introduced to you our now generation of Catholic pro-life warriors. And we've met quite a few over the past few weeks. And now I'm going to introduce to you to another one, which I'm sure if you're on Facebook, you've already seen the page that she's made and she's started. And we can get to know more about everything behind it. So join me as we welcome Margaux Salcedo of Dominus Est. Welcome. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Congressman Javi.
In 2 weeks, we will find out.
What
Just now,
number? What number?
166, Buhay 166. Yeah.
Buhay 166 and
Forget,
hotline.
don't forget. All right. Maybe people don't know, but we've known each other for decades since college, right? And it's just amazing now that we're actually in the same circle, the Catholic social media circle. So Margaux, tell us something about Dominus Est. What started it all? Why did you start something like this?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Congressman Javi, for inviting me to your series.
Yes.
Um, and I'm excited to talk about my little baby, Dominus Est. So for those of you who have not heard about Dominus Est, it's a Catholic website that was launched in 2019 at the Pista ng Mission, and Cardinal Tagle, of course, was there. And this is a project with Father Jason Laguerta. He is the head of the Office for the Promotion of New Evangelization of the Archdiocese of Manila. But we are now an independent site, and our goal is to share the good news to everyone and our love for Christ, so that everyone will be inspired to see Christ in everything, every day, in every way. And so if you have not seen it, please go to the Facebook and YouTube pages of Dominus Est PH. And we have just actually come back to Manila from participating in the Second National Mission Congress. I was there with a lot of Couples for Christ, Synod George Campos, etc. And we concluded it. It was a week-long series that was the culminating activity for the 500 years of Christianity. So we have a lot of collaborations, and hopefully,
Yeah.
baka we can also collaborate with you.
Yeah, definitely. And Dominus S started 2019, like you were talking before the recording. And I would tell you that it's something huge now. There are thousands of likes on Facebook, and it live streams all the major Catholic events. Did you ever think it would reach this point?
I always had confidence that that was really the goal from the start, because our the reason why we were created was, I had been invited by Father Anton Pascual of he is of Father Anton Pascual is head of Caritas Manila, but also of Radio Veritas. And I had been doing I wasn't very much involved in the Catholic Church at the time. I had been doing a lot of political PR, and I was asked to create a communicate behind the scenes. I was asked to create a communications plan for the church, which I had submitted, and I was just saying that amidst the noise of trolls and fake news, the only way for us to really counter all of that is with our own voice. So bombard it with good news and shout, "It is the Lord!" So that's why Dominus Est was created. And I hope that we have been fulfilling our objective of really shouting out the good news. So we realized, just immediately after the launch, that we were much bigger than just being confined to one diocese. So we were receiving messages from the first day palang. There was already a message from a church in the US asking for prayers, because it was a very, very frustrated parishioner, possibly serving in her church. And she had asked for prayers because um, the number of people going to their church attending was dwindling. And so, I mean, from that time palang, we already saw that everywhere in the world, we're getting messages from Rwanda, from A few months ago, we got a message from someone from Mesopotamia
Wow.
asking to be connected to the Carmelites because he was doing a paper. um, and now we have just collaborated with Cebu, Basilica Menor del Santo Niño de Cebu, and the Archdiocese of Cebu. We're so honored to have been asked to participate for the closing of 500 years of Christianity. So it's nice to see that everywhere in the world, the theme of just let me know when to stop talking. Kilala mo naman ako. Pwede tuloy-tuloy lang ako. O sige, stop muna ako.
Okay. Your background, you said you were in politics before, and you were also well, sometimes you're still a food blogger, reviewer. How did all of that connect to where you are now?
Okay. For food, I'm happy to share that I continue to write about food for the Philippine Daily Inquirer. The
And,
column
and then
is
I love your articles. I have to say, when you talk about food, it's like you can actually taste it.
Thank you. Yeah. The column is first class. On the funny story there is it was initially called business class because it comes out in the business section of Inquirer. Um, but apparently there was like some guy from somewhere who also had a column named business class, and so he asked our editor to like not use it. And so my editor in chief then, si Letty Magsanok, was like, "Okay, Margot, you're now upgraded." So kailangan ng first class. So so it's still food, and it's compartmentalized. It's my other job. It's kind of like my day job, and I guess Dominus Est is our online web ministry. For Dominus Est, we're actually all volunteers, so it's not really a paid organization or anything like that. And I'm just blessed to have to be able to work with a lot of like-minded people who are just committed to serving. A lot of them are also servers in their own parishes, and then they just also contribute to Dominus Est when they have time. So we're actually a group of volunteers now. We're around 20 now working on this site, and each one is just sharing their talents. We have a very talented graphic artists, live streamers, video editors, and then whatever you can contribute, you're all welcome.
Oh, thanks, Margot, for all of that. I just want to say that since 2019 until now, you've really made an impact on the Catholic world. And it's just admirable, everything that you're doing. So maybe our last question is, where do you see Dominus Est going?
Now we have to consider how to um, segue to in real life,
Uh,
because we've been doing a lot of live streaming, and I think we've navigated that quite well the past 2 years. Also, I'm very my goal is to not just preach to the choir.
yeah.
Right now, we get a lot of likes. I'm so happy to share that we now have over 100,000 followers,
Yes.
and we have a reach of around 2 million weekly for Dominus Est. But we want to be. I think ultimately we would like to reach out to those who are not yet super involved in church, like me initially. I wasn't. I'm a sinner. uh,
Thank you all.
um, so before being involved in Dominus Est, but there are people who are not so active in
Yes.
church, and maybe also are too shy to be vocal about their Catholic beliefs, and also those who are not, because there are nuances in the church that you only really start to realize when you're kind of involved in it. But I think maybe one of the things that we can do is to talk about these things more, because these are really delightful facts that everybody can absorb and appreciate, just like food. um, like for example, the communion of saints, right? I
Yes.
love that. And the presence of Christ in the Eucharist, I love that. Diba? And it's just we just really want to build the community, and hopefully the community can also include new guests to the party, so that we can proclaim more and more that it is the Lord.
Thank you, Margaux, for all of what you've said. Just like you said, a lot of us who are sinners and who have such different lives before, because of everything that we do, they have been transformed, and we get to really serve the worldwide community of the worldwide church even better because of all our experiences. So thank you for your gift of Dominus Est. And I'm sure a lot of people will be blessed by it. And thank you for coming on to my little show, Buhay Meets.
I love your show. Thank you. And 166.
166. Okay, thank you, Margaux, and thank you to everyone watching. See you again next time in another episode of Buhay Meets. God bless.